Bajo, Hex, assume your reviewing positions. It's time to unfurl the scrolls.
Now, we've dabbled in some digital card games from time to time. There's Adventure Time Card Wars, which was a bit of fun, Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft, but Scrolls is on another kind of level.
Yeah, this is some serious in-depth collectible card strategy, so hold on to your hats. First, you build your deck. The game is free to download with limited features, but no access to things like character customization or the online store.
Does start you off with a starter deck, though. The deck here uses growth scrolls. As you play, you'll earn in-game gold to buy card packs or scrolls to boost your deck.
Scrolls doesn't really explain the deck building process very well, though, does it? It starts you off with the very basic cards that you need to start playing. Some more tutorials or information on deck building would have been appreciated, especially once you start collecting different scroll types.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like there are other card games like Hearthstone that explain all of this a lot better. The scrolls you start with are all the same kind, but you can have more than one type of scroll in your deck. I wouldn't advise doing that until much later on, though.
Before we go any further, you two, why don't we explain the basic rules of the game?
Yes, well, as far as card games go, this is more of a hybrid, combining a card game with more traditional turn-based strategy on a hex grid.
Yes, each player has 5 idols. And your goal is to destroy at least 3 of your opponent's idols before they destroy yours.
You do this, of course, by playing cards from your deck. Each card has a resource number, so you'll need to sacrifice some of your cards for resources in order to be able to play the others.
There are 4 different kinds of scrolls in each deck type. Creatures, which are summoned to the board and attack your opponent's forces and their idols. Structures, which can provide extra defenses or buffs. Enchantments, which usually act as a lingering buff on units. And spells, which are usually one-use attacks that can be very helpful.
It's important to have a good mix of all of these types of scrolls too, and keeping in mind that you'll be sacrificing some of them for resources or more cards as well.
Yeah, and if that's not enough to think about, each creature has its own attack level, health level, and countdown, which is how many turns you have to wait before they can attack anything. Trying to keep track of all of this on the board is pretty exhausting, but rewarding too once you start getting the hang of it.
It's a steep learning curve, isn't it? I mostly played against the AI, and I had a bit of trouble getting a match online, but when I did, I was almost always beaten.
Yeah, me too. I need to build up my deck a bit more, I think.
Fortunately for humans, they can learn from their mistakes. Even when you fail in card games such as this one, keeping your eye on your opponent's tactics proves valuable for improving your own strategy. There's even a spectator mode if you just want to try and pick up on some tips by sitting back and watching the pros battle it out.
Yes, it's definitely a trial by fire with this game, and I found that I was sacrificing so many of my cards for more cards or resources, and yet all of my scrolls would keep getting destroyed, while my opponent's board would be filling up with a wall of forces, making getting close to those idols practically impossible.
Yeah, it's just tough to figure out what you're doing wrong, isn't it? Am I sacrificing the wrong cards? Not building enough structures? Using my enchantments poorly?
I do like all the unique elements of this game though. Sacrificing your cards for resources, instead of having to collect and play them each round, keeps your playing hand really simple.
Yeah, and slowly I did start to figure out which cards were more valuable to keep around at which time, and where to place certain creatures with structures and totems to protect them.
As is the case with most free-to-play models, you need to play for quite a while before you've earned enough gold to buy a whole new deck of a different type of scrolls, which is a little frustrating since you want to be able to test out different scroll types to see which ones you like.
Yes, from what I can tell, they all seem to play out a little differently. Growth uses plant and animal-based attacks and magic. Decay uses the undead and ghostly enchantments. And another 2, Order and Energy, that focuses more on structures and weapons, but we haven't tried those out yet.
I confess that after a while I gave in and purchased the full game so that I could access the online shop and buy more cards.
Oh, Darren, that's not like you.
I was just so frustrated. It's a slippery slope. Remember, free is rarely actually free.
Well, I hope you got Mombot's permission to use her credit card, Darren.
Affirmative.
Well, look, this is a very complex game that'll take lots of time and lots of defeat to learn. But I think it has real promise for those looking for a strategy game with real challenge. And, you know, the fact that it is free to play means you can have a good go of it for as long as you like before you commit to purchasing the full game.
Now guys, I know that extensive tutorials aren't Mojang's thing. When Minecraft came out, you were just dumped into the world and you had to work everything out for yourself. But I think Scrolls would seriously benefit from a little more in-depth explanation of the cards and how to use them.
Yeah, there definitely are friendlier, more accessible card games out there, but I think Mojang's real aim was to create something lasting and tough based on real skill. I do think it'll have a strong following in no time. That said, I can't say I'm having a whole lot of fun with it at the moment. I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5 stars.
I'm giving it 2 stars.